Hi there, my name's Phil Higgins and welcome to the Ventures Onsite News Update for the second week of April 2020. Well, in the news this week, the entire world has just one focus. Yes, COVID-19. As governments around the world are implementing more stringent measures to contain this virus, as we see the world's reported cases of coronavirus quickly climb to 2 million people, with unfortunately 120,000 deaths. In the UAE, we have seen extension to lockdown and quarantine measures as the government does all to ensure necessary controls for the protection of all residents. A close look at the UAE statistics shows a dramatic increase in known COVID-19 cases in the past week, and yet this needs to be viewed in context. The number of tests per 1 million population in the UAE ranks third highest in the world, an outstanding effort in the region. More tests means more accuracy in the information to the extent of the virus spread. Well, sadly, increased efforts to control this virus spread has major impact on our economies as we see a slowdown for the construction industry throughout the region. Last week, Ventures Onsite hosted a webinar titled COVID-19 and the Impact for MENA Business and the Construction Sector. The webinar was well attended with representation from more than 27 countries, and in this webinar, Ventures Onsite provided a detailed update to the known construction activity throughout the MENA region, highlighting the impact that the crisis and economic slowdown will bring to our construction industry. Marwan Aldo, a specialist for business continuity and risk management at Ventures Middle East, explained that there is no simple way to put it. The overall effect to many industries, retail, hospitality, tourism, manufacturing, and construction will create a ripple effect that will be long-lasting. How we recover will be a matter of outcome from the depth of this disruption, the length of the disruption, and the shape of this disruption. He explained that we are still in the emergency response stage of the crisis as the world manages this crisis to lead us through to business recovery. Fortunately, however, we continue to see construction progress on most sites in the GCC region at a slower pace, but with progress. In the greater MENA region, reports of construction site shutdown in Tunisia, Morocco, and Algeria are all in compliance with government requirements for national isolation. Well, Clive de Villiers, the Senior Vice President at Keo International Consultants, provided an update that the construction design is at a slow pace as most architects work from home, but only on projects that are already on the drawing board. He explained that the developers are slow to initiate new projects at this time, but expects or hopes that there will be some action once we see the reduction in quarantine measures throughout the region. With the slowdown of construction, the term budget cut is something we are going to hear more often in all sectors of the industry for the next few months. The Saudi Foreign Ministry has already implemented a 20% cut, one of our sources said, adding that the cuts will not impact salaries, but projects could be postponed and contracts yet to be awarded could be delayed. Saudi Arabia's national oil company, Saudi Aramco, said it plans to cut capital spending for 2020 to between 25 billion and 30 billion US dollars. In the UAE, ADNOC notified contractors and suppliers that it will review existing contracts to find ways to cut costs. In general, contractors will have to go through the whole price negotiation process again as project promoters insist on repricing contracts because of the changed circumstances. Even projects that were awarded as recently as weeks ago are being put through the repricing process. This top-down negotiation will penetrate the entire supply chain for all construction products. Well, Ventures Onsite is committed to supporting the construction industry at this time, and we will continue our news updates and provide additional webinars, training and presentations to assist the industry's business planning and to help our many customers navigate the path of survival in the months to come. Well, there has been some construction news this week. Target Engineering, the wholly owned subsidiary of Arab Tech Holdings, secured 2 contracts worth $57 million US in the UAE. Well, according to a statement, the first contract was awarded by ADNOC Offshore to carry out engineering, procurement, construction and commissioning works for the replacement of slug catchers at the Satar plant located in Zirku Island, Abu Dhabi. I'll leave a link in the description if you have no idea what a slug catcher is. The $22 million project is said to be in line with the ADNOC Group's strategic priority to diversify its backlog into different sectors, including the industrial sector. Well, Target Engineering expects to start work on the project immediately and noted that the project will be completed by the first quarter of 2022. The second contract is for the construction of a mixed-use Sunset Square development in Abu Dhabi. The $34.3 million contract calls for the construction of a 19-story commercial tower with a total build-up area of 27,000 square meters. Work will start soon on the project and is due for completion within 30 months, the company said. In Dubai, Azizi Developments announced that they are preparing to deliver 479 units for the Aurora residential project in Jafsa by Q2 2020. The developer announced that it has accelerated works on the project and is now making the 85% construction milestone. The development will comprise 349 studio, 87 one-bedroom and 43 two-bedroom apartments. Well, King Salman has extended the curfew in Saudi Arabia until further notice amid the COVID-19 crisis. Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Interior implemented a curfew from the 23rd of March, providing precautionary measures in the kingdom. In Oman, the Muscat government entered into a lockdown on the 10th of April and will remain the same until the 22nd of April. Well, India's Larsen & Toubro construction arm has announced that it's won significant contracts in the Middle East as part of its power and transmission distribution business. In Kuwait, L&T Constructions was awarded the contract to upgrade substations and related power facilities in the Kuwait National Petroleum Company's MENA Al Amadi oil refinery. In Oman, it will be responsible for a 400 kV grid station, a crucial element in the Sultanate's major transmission initiatives interconnecting the grids in south and north with the Petroleum Development Oman area. L&T also won an order to design, supply and construct and commission a 220 kV gas insulated substation for an unnamed client in Egypt. Well, Etihad Rail has awarded a contract worth $230 million for the construction of the central operations for the maintenance facility in Al Fayer, Abu Dhabi. The contract has been awarded to a joint venture led by France's Vinci Construction. The O&M facility will be the largest and the most important facility in the network and will be responsible for warehousing, installations, operations and maintenance of locomotives and wagons. It will also include the administrative buildings to control the operations of the whole network. Spain's Abegonia has announced that it has been awarded a contract to build the second largest reverse osmosis desalination plant in Saudi Arabia. The project will be carried out in consortium with engineering and construction company SEPCO 3. Under the terms of the contract, Abegonia will be responsible for the engineering, supply and construction of the Jebel 3A reverse osmosis desalination plant, which will be located in the kingdom's eastern province. The project is part of the Saudi government's program to promote private participation in the country's water sector. The scope of the project exceeds $200 million. In news from around the world, Spain has announced plans for some industries, such as construction and manufacturing, to be allowed to restart operations from this week, enabling thousands to return to work as the death rate from COVID-19 begins to slow down. Under the guidelines issued by the Prime Minister's office, companies returning to work must provide appropriate protection equipment and ensure employees have space to be at least 2 meters apart. Well, that's it for this week. We hope this news update helps you stay informed so you stay competitive. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave us a comment if you have any topics that you would like us to cover in our future webinars. Until next week, and from all of us at Ventures Onsite, we hope you stay safe and stay home. My name's Phil Higgins, and this is Ventures Onsite Live.